Hey there, troopers. This is Random Game Channel with some updates and a summary for the April 17th, 2025 live Q&A that PMO and Astraea did for game. Start this off. I'm going to try to remember to include a link for this document in the video's description. And if you want to get the latest updates, you can always go to their website here. You can go to the YouTube and subscribe. You can also go to the Discord. What was that there? That'll help you stay up to date on all the information that's coming out. You can always go watch their content, stay up to date and all that, right? But I'm going to try to summarize the information that we got today. Alright, so first one here, new cosmetics coming soon. Based on what PMO said, I think there may be some coming based on Rico's attire from the first movie. I wasn't 100% sure. That's kind of the vibes that I got when I was watching the stream. What details can you tell us about company customization, medals, badges, frames, icons, expand the size of the company, spend intel to do this. More details will be released towards the end of summer, start of fall. So what do we know about this right now based on the most recent dev blog is that there's going to be a change to the way that to how the companies work. So instead of like spending intel to buy missions and stuff, you're going to actually use that to, do all this stuff here. And what we also know now is that from the dev blog and also from here is that company operations, there's going to be a change that there's going to be you can choose a couple of missions from the mission playlist. You don't have to spend intel anymore to buy company ops. So it's going to be based on a certain length of time that they're going to be available, just like the regular playlist for missions, and new missions will be unlocked via milestones instead. So I think that's something they're kind of hinting at that they kind of leaked, which I will go into details a little bit further down the dock. Marauder still being worked on, not a priority right now, still focusing on performance, bugs, and optimization. I think that's a good idea because there's still a lot of like performance bugs and stuff and things that can be improved. So I think they're doing a great thing to just kind of hold off on that, to just kind of fine-tune what they got now. What happened to Heroes of the Federation? They said that it didn't feel quite right, still being discussed and developed. They will instead find ways to improve or adjust the current difficulty levels. Now, I unfortunately didn't get to help out and shape up any of the testing with that, but hey, I don't always have time for that. Let's see, status on working on Steam Deck build. They're still committed to optimizing the game on the Steam Deck. It's just a little harder to do from what I understand about what they said. We gotta change the resolution, text icons, and all that. New bugs. Ultimate goal is to optimize and fine-tune the current bugs that they have now. However, they do have a new one they are working on right now, which is the Scorpion from the third movie. Link here if you want to check it out. Should be finished by the end of the year. But might as well just check it out real quick. It's this thing. People might have known it better. This one. That giant scorpion thing that shoots a giant laser beam at you. Freaky. It should be finished by the end of the year. Details on cameraman woman will be available as a mutator and a side objective where you need to interact with it. It will be available in version 1.4. New lore will be attached to this new game mechanic. For more info, you can look here. That's a link to the dev blog and all that. That talks about the new class mechanic and the underbarrel attachment. Morita 2, scheduled for version 1.5. And kind of related to that, other weapons are in development are the Morita 3 and the nuke launcher. Any plans to expand building mechanics? New buildings are being considered for the engineer class and for general base building. Of course, they'll need to make sense for the game and not just add stuff just to add stuff. New planet? It's already been guessed in the Discord. News updates will be released late summer this year. I tried looking for that just now. It was incredibly hard, so I gave up. It's too much to sift through. But if you know about it, let me know. Quick play updates. There will be updates to how troopers can quick play into games. Examples can be seen here. So I'll link to the latest dev blog. There will be filters for gameplay mode and difficulty for both general missions and Galactic Front missions. A disclaimer will pop up saying that the more you filter, the more time it will take to find a match, which makes sense because you're narrowing your scope. This also may be affected by the time zone you're in, so if you're playing at like 12 in the morning, you might not get a lot of people to play with because people are most likely asleep. Alright, so let's keep that in mind. In-game communication wheel has been discussed. They're interested in adding emojis, just not a high priority task right now. Because, they're focusing on optimization and all that, right? This is the leak that I was kind of talking about that PMO was kind of hinting at. They hinted at this a few minutes after this mark right here in their video. So I kind of rewinded the video, and I think they're hinting at 02609. So check that out. Double check. Don't take my word for it. Look for yourself. After looking at the video where PMO mentioned a leak, they did say that the Galactic Front missions in V1.5 will be time-based, possibly meaning they only last for an X amount of time. New missions will be unlocked through milestones. Alright, updates to Hive Hunt. Hive Hunt will be converted into a 16-player mode. It will be updated in phases. They did mention that it will stop allowing troopers to join the game. I think they were saying that it was going to be kind of based on how many cores you destroyed. Also, instead of rushing into the hive cores, you'll need to escort a nuke to each hive core. Will be updated in V1.5 and further development will continue in V1.6. At least that's what I understood when they were talking about it. Okay, so what happens to 4-player Hive Hunt? They said that they'll start testing 4-player. Oops, that's space there. We'll start testing a 4-player hosted servers towards the end of 2025, maybe early 2026. Maybe development extends to 2027. I think they said this is a long-term project. Are there plans to increase the encounter rate with a tanker? Ah. Yeah, that's all we got. There's plans for it. Are there plans to add more unique building structures for the engineer? One is in design right now. That's all that I got from it. Yeah. Player Hub. Still looking into it. My thoughts on this is that it may not be a high priority task right now since they want to focus on optimization. And like, is it really needed? I'd say no. Uh, it would add a lot of like unique and cool things to the game, but the UI that we have now works. And you gotta keep in mind, they're a small team of developers, so they can't like spread out and do everything. Because if they do that, nothing gonna get done. So just keep that in mind. You know, they're a small team. Gotta let them do their thing. Okay. They had a question about AI pathing, both for bugs and troopers. From what I understood, they're going to disable the specialist AI trooper in V1.4. So there won't be any side missions for them and will be temporarily removed or disabled until V1.5. Reason, they have a big impact on the server. I'm not sure what that really means. Maybe that's just it's just like causing server issues, maybe disconnects. Might have a really large tax on the server, maybe. Mutators when? New ones are coming. They're also fine-tuning old ones that aren't currently in play or haven't been seen in a long time. And they're hoping to reintroduce them into the game at some point. This is kind of like my question from the Discord. Any developer, what's this? I don't know. Any developer interest in putting a new twist on Horde mode? The full question was that will there be like are there like any plans for the dev team to add kind of like a base build, or like, how can I rephrase it? Like, I originally wanted to ask this. You could check it in the Q&A for the um, Discord for that. It was asking about how interested are developers in building a pre-built, fully functioning base that troopers can kind of like survive in for like 10 waves, and then will there be any chance for the community to submit bases of their own and possibly make that an official like base build in this new potential idea, right? That was the thing I was asking. But what they were able to tell us is that the waves will be time-based instead of kill counter-based. So instead of like killing X amount of bugs, it's like X amount of time. Bigger updates will be coming out in early 2026. I asked an additional question, will the build time between waves be increased? To be determined was the answer. Bestiary. Not at this time, but we're interested in making a codex to explain or add details about the planets, etc. Any new sidearms? Pistols are coming out soon-ish. Probably not this year, though. Marina 2 details. Burst fire with grenade launcher. Sounds pretty cool. Weapon mastery levels. Everything will be increased by 1. Just to, do that for the Marina 2. We'll bring everything up to level 16. So what that means is you gotta level everything up to level 16 now, because currently it's kind of low, I guess, for whatever they were wanting to do for the Marina 2. So yeah. Yeah. Well, maybe I misspoke. Not weapon mastery levels, but like trooper class levels. I think that's what that was. Trooper class levels, because everything is at level 15 right now. I think that's what they're mentioning. I kind of mixed up in the details there. Because like level 10 is like where mastery is for each weapon. At least that's what it is, if I can remember it correctly. Double check what it is currently in the game. I forget. Next question. Are you going to develop the maps more? Yes, for example, they're going to add more play spaces. So that's cool. Are you still looking into ways to add more XP for people that are doing support tasks such as destroying bug corpses or running ore and gas? Yes, we are looking into more ways to add more weapons for our troopers gain XP for doing support tasks. That's good. That's still on the agenda. Will there be any updates for reinforcement tickets? They said it's okay where it is right now, and that's kind of where they left it. Will there be charge up or overheat weapon mechanics? Charge, maybe, and they said Federation weapons don't overheat. Any plans for adding sensitivity settings for controllers? Yes, but it's a lower priority than optimization goals. They're going to choose optimization goals over something like this. Any plans for new cosmetics? Yes, but it needs to make sense for like the Starship Troopers universe. My take on this, I really don't want to see neon colored camo and things like that that's like really wild and wacky, like how Call of Duty does it. And I think the developers share the same idea about not wanting to do that, because like it wouldn't make sense. All right. But they also mention that the color palette for the Starship Troopers universe is like pretty like dull, right? Because that's just how it is. Like they're not going to use like neon yellow for like a camo or like a thing to paint on their ships, right? This doesn't make sense. New class 1. Something is coming out early 2026. PMO said that they kind of want to do something like PsyOps commander class kind of thing where they can control bugs, but we'll see. What is going on? I got a phone call. Sorry about that, I'm back. I thought I was going to get a phone call related to a job application. Nope. Disappointed. Alright, where was I? I think I was here. Any plans to add more rewards for re-enlistment? Nope, not this time. Dismemberment. Still looking into ways to do that properly. These are kind of like my notes that I took from that. When to time it with the bleed out mechanic. They're kind of talking about that. Like, here's my take on it. How do you time this to give the medics a chance to revive troopers? Do they take away that opportunity to be revived by allowing a trooper to be immediately dismembered when they are downed by a bug? I think there is still a lot that needs to be discussed about that. How would they incorporate that to make sense in the lore and the game, right? Because usually the bugs will just cut a trooper up right away. So I'm not sure how this can be added to make sense, like in the game, because like when you allow a trooper to be dismembered, right? Like, how would that even make sense for a medic to put someone back together with just like a stim dart or revive from the drone? Like, I don't know how that would make sense, and I'm not sure how you would even go about that. But that's up for discussion still. Dismemberment about the bugs? I don't think they talked about it too much. They kind of talked more about dismemberment for the troopers. Any new melee weapons? Yes, both are being discussed for engineer and non-engineer classes. Any new perks? Just the ones that are introduced from the galactic fronts. So yeah, there you go, folks. Kind of summarized everything for you, and yeah, don't forget to check out the actual video that they did for this. If you want to, watch that, go ahead and check it out. But this is just like my summary about, what happened. Kind of took the stuff I thought would be kind of a good highlight to share. But that's been me. Hopefully that gets you up to date with everybody. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this one, and I will see you on the field, troopers. Catch you next time.